So the parish priest is unable to find angelic qualities in him, but he could find only humane qualities, humaneness in the fallen angel. So, and he is unable to find the dignity of angels in this fallen being. Then he came out of the chicken coop and in a brief sermon warned the curious against the risk of being ingenious. He reminded them that the devil had the bad habit of making use of carnival tricks in order to confuse the unwary. So the moment he comes out of the chicken coop, he is giving a sermon to the parishioners, asking them to be more and more prudent and to be more diligent and careful so that they will not fall to the tricks of the devil. So that is actually the remark that is made by the parish priest, to be more and more cautious and attentive to the tricks played by the devil. So he argued that if wings were not the essential element in determining the difference between a hawk and an airplane, they were even less so in the recognition of angels. So the priest has come to the conclusion that wings should not be considered as the essential norm to determine the identity of an angel. So just because the old man has wings, he cannot be called, or he need not be called as an angel, because he does not satisfy the other qualities or other features that are expected in an angel. And therefore he is requesting the parishioners to be more and more cautious until appropriate response comes from the Pope. So his intention is actually to hand over or send the investigative report that he has made just now after his visit to the supernatural fallen angel, and he wants everyone to wait for the response to come from the Holy See. So that is the response. Nevertheless, he promised to write a letter to the bishop so that the latter would write his primate, so that the latter would write to the supreme pontiff in order to get the final verdict from the highest courts. So these lines are very interesting because it shows about the long line of hierarchy that is in the Catholic Church. So here he is concerned about the nature, the essential nature and the identity of the supernatural being, and he is not ready to accept it as an angel, since he feels that just because it has wings, it doesn't satisfy all the criteria to become an angel. And he is questioning the identity of the angel, since it cannot converse in Latin, since it is so dirty and in dismal appearance, and it is so much vulnerable in its state. So it all is a very clear indication that it is not a supreme and superior being which can be called and considered as an angel. His prudence fell on sterile hearts. The news of the captive angel spread with such rapidity that after a few hours the courtyard had the bustle of a marketplace, and they had to call in troops with fixed bayonets to disperse the mob that was about to knock the house down. So these lines are intensely humorous, because here we are told about how the people are ignoring the words of caution uttered by the parish priest, and they come in large numbers and literally make the premises almost like a marketplace. And in order to regulate the people, in order to sustain law and order, the householders, they had to call the troops with bayonets to disperse the mob. So that speaks about the kind of extent of the crowd which is gathered in large numbers to know more about the supernatural being who had come there. Elisanta, her spine all twisted from sweeping up so much marketplace trash, then got the idea of fencing in the yard and charging 5 cents for admission to see the angel. So the line is intensely humorous and also sarcastic, because we are told about the opportunistic attitude of human beings and of Elisanda, the character. So she is highly ingenious, and her profession is also revealed here. She is a sweeper. She is a market sweeper, and she sweeps in order to make her livelihood, and she decides to fence her premises so that the flow of people could be regulated, so that she can levy 5 cents for admission to see the angel. So that is a very opportunistic move made by the lady of the house, Elisanda, and that shows about how people are eager to make money or to make hay when the sun really shines. So the selfishness and the shrewdness of characters of human beings is what we come across here. The curious came from far away. A travelling carnival arrived with a flying acrobat who buzzed over the crowd several times, but no one paid any attention to him because his wings were not those of an angel, but rather those of a sidereal bat. So these lines are important, and it speaks about the innate human tendency to be aroused or to be attracted to surreal beings and surreal aspects of life. So human beings have a natural tendency to be attracted and drawn towards supernatural beings and supernatural elements, which have attracted the people in the locality towards the fallen angel. So exactly during that same time, a traveling carnival arrived at that locality, and there was an acrobat who did lots of gimmicks and acrobatics in front of the people in order to win their attention, but he could not sustain that level of attention from the people, since people were more interested to be near the angel and to watch him closely. So that indicate very clearly about the human tendency to be flabbergasted, to remain flabbergasted by the presence of surreal visions and presence of surreal beings. The most unfortunate invalids on earth came in search of health, a poor woman who since childhood has been counting her heartbeats and had run out of numbers, a Portuguese man who could not sleep because the noise of the stars disturbed him, a sleepwalker who got up at night to undo the things he had done while awake, and many others with less serious ailments. So here these lines are very important since it reflects the common human tendency to approach and to seek blessings from such superhumans and supernatural beings. So the common tendency, the innate human tendency to rely on such surreal beings for their own progressions and prosperity is what we find here. And the writer, in a very subtle and but humorous way, speaks about the large number of people, especially invalids, who came in order to get healed by the presence and the blessings of the angel. And one such person is a poor woman who has been suffering right from her childhood, and she has come to get healed. And the woman suffered from anxiety-related disorder, and that is reflected by the words someone who has been counting her own heartbeats. So she is seeking the blessings in order to get healed. Similar is the state of the Portuguese man who suffered from insomnia, a light sleeper, and he is seeking the graces to get healed and to get better sleep. Another character is a sleepwalker who suffered from somnambulism, and he is also getting the heavenly support and aid from the angel to get healed. In the midst of that shipwreck disorder that made the earth tremble, Pelayo and Elisanda were happy with fatigue, for in less than a week they had crammed their rooms with money and the line of pilgrims waiting their turn to enter still reached beyond the horizon. So these lines are important because that speaks about the meanness of human beings in general, the innate human tendency to make hay when the sun really shines, the opportunistic nature of people, and the exploitative attitude of people amidst disastrous situations. So human beings, inhuman attitude of people to loot and to exploit people in dangerous straits. That is what we find here. So people, when they suffer, the tendency of people to loot and to exploit them, that is humorously portrayed here. So Elisander and Pelayo, they decide to levy 5 cents from the people, especially the long line of pilgrims who come in large numbers to seek blessings and to have a sight of the fallen angel. So they are making maximum of the available the resources and circumstances, and literally their rooms got crammed with money as days progressed. So how the angel, the fallen angel, is becoming a blessing for the couple, and how his presence is transforming their lives, at least materially or financially, is what we find here. So even though they are not transformed spiritually, the material progression and growth the couple attain is what are described here.